All right, let's talk about Indian food, but maybe not in the way you're used to. We're going to unlock the secrets behind one of the world's most incredible cuisines by looking at its culinary systems. Think of it like a journey into a huge library of flavor. Ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, first things first, I want to throw a kind of wild idea at you. What if I told you that Indian food doesn't really exist? I know, but as a single, one-size-fits-all concept, it's just a label, and it kind of hides this massive, continent-sized diversity of cooking.
So, instead of one big cookbook, I want you to picture this, a gigantic library. And on the shelves, you don't have books, you have entire systems of cooking. Each one, it's got its own set of rules, its own deep history, and a totally unique story to tell with flavor. So today, we're going to pull a few of those books right off the shelf and see what's inside.
So where do we start? Our first section is all about power and speed. We're talking about the art of intense heat, the systems that have absolutely mastered fire to create textures and tastes that you just can't forget.
And we have to start with the legendary tandoor. Now this is so much more than just an oven. It's this incredible superheated clay pot that originally comes from Punjab. The heat inside is just intense, and because it's enclosed, it bakes and roasts in a way you really can't replicate anywhere else. And that's where you get that amazing smoky, earthy flavor.
Oh yeah, you definitely know the food that comes out of it. I mean, just picture that pillowy, bubbly naan bread getting slapped against the hot clay walls. Or those incredible kebabs and tikkas. They get seared on the outside, but stay unbelievably juicy on the inside. That right there, that's the magic of the tandoor.
But here's the thing, high heat isn't just one note. The tandoor, right, it has that enclosed roasting heat, which gives you that smoky finish. Now, let's contrast that with something like a tava. That's a flat griddle. It uses direct, open heat for searing. And what does that give you? The toasty flavor of a chapati, or the perfect crispiness of a dosa. So see, same idea, intense heat, but two totally different, delicious results.
Okay, so we've just been in the roaring fire of the tandoor. Now let's shift gears, like a complete 180. Our next chapter in the library is all about the exact opposite, the art of patience. This is where flavor isn't blasted with fire, but gently, slowly coaxed out over hours.
Because, in this kind of cooking, the biggest secrets, the most amazing transformations, they happen when things are sealed up tight and just left alone to work their magic.
And that brings us to the absolutely elegant art of dumpucht. This technique was perfected in the Mughal courts. You basically put all your ingredients in a pot and seal it completely shut, a lot of times with dough. Then it's cooked over a super low flame. What happens is everything inside just steams in its own juices. If you've ever wondered how a great biryani gets that incredible depth and aroma, this is it. It's like its own little world of flavor infusion happening inside that pot.
And you see that same idea of slow infusion all along the coasts. Think about places like Kerala or Goa. Those amazing, rich curries. They are never, ever rushed. They're just gently simmered, giving that creamy coconut milk and that tangy tamarind all the time they need to become friends, to really meld together and soak into every single piece of seafood and vegetable. It's just a beautiful harmony of flavors.
All right, for our next section, we're looking at something really clever. These are systems that don't just use ingredients from nature. They actually harness nature's own processes, things like steam and fermentation. And the result is food that's not just delicious, but often incredibly good for you too.
You see this a lot, especially in South India. On one hand, you've got steaming. It's all about gentle, moist heat to make things like idli, which are super light and easy to digest. Then, on the other hand, you have fermentation. This is where you're actually using natural bacteria to transform batters, like for dosas. That's what gives them that complex, slightly tangy flavor and all those great health benefits.
But the connection with nature gets even more direct when you go to Northeast India. It's amazing. Tribal communities there have this incredible system where they cook inside hollow bamboo tubes. They just pack all the ingredients in, seal it up, and stick it right over a fire. The bamboo basically becomes a natural pressure cooker. It steams the food and imparts its own subtle, really unique flavor. It's absolutely ingenious.
Okay, obviously we can't talk about Indian cooking without talking about the heart and soul of it all, the spices. But here's the key, it's not just about randomly throwing them in a pot. It's about the systems that have been developed to create, combine, and even preserve those amazing flavors.
And what's so cool is that these spice blends are like a fingerprint for each region. You go up north, you get the warming, aromatic garam masala. Head down south, and you'll find the earthy sambar powder, which often has lentils in it. Then swing over to Bengal, and the whole foundation is built on Panch Phoron, a 5-spice blend. Seriously, each blend tells you a story about that region's climate, its history, everything.
So, if the spice blends are the foundation, then Tadka, well, Tadka is the fireworks at the end, the grand finale. People call it tempering, but honestly, I think flavor bomb is way more accurate. What you're doing is sizzling whole spices in hot oil or ghee to just, boom, unlock all their essential oils right before you pour it over the dish.
And it's a total sensory experience. First, you heat up the ghee or oil. Then you drop in your spices, maybe some mustard seeds, some cumin, and then you just listen. You're waiting for that pop, that sizzle. As soon as you hear it, that's your cue. You pour that incredibly fragrant, sizzling mix right over your dal or your vegetables. It's just this final, amazing layer of flavor.
And this whole system of managing flavor isn't just about what you're eating tonight. Think about the art of pickling. It's literally a way to preserve the seasons in a jar. You take things like raw mangoes or limes, and with salt, oil, and spices, you completely transform them. Their flavors just get deeper, more complex, and more intense over time.
Okay, for our last chapter in the library, we're going to move beyond just technique. We're actually going to step into philosophy. Because this is a system where cooking isn't just about feeding yourself, or even about amazing taste. It's a spiritual practice. It's designed to bring real balance to your body and your mind.
This is what's known as the Sattvic system of cooking. Its roots are deep in the ancient science of Ayurveda. And really, it all comes down to 3 main ideas: purity, balance, and simplicity. The whole point is to create food that's calming, that's deeply nourishing, not just for your body, but for your spirit too. And what's really fascinating about this system is what it doesn't include. It actually avoids ingredients like onion and garlic because they're seen as being too stimulating. Instead, the focus is all on fresh, wholesome foods that help balance what Ayurveda calls the doshas, the body's fundamental energies. It's all about promoting a feeling of calm and well-being.
And really, that brings our whole journey full circle, doesn't it? We started in the intense, fiery world of the tandoor, and we've ended up in the quiet, mindful balance of Sattvic cooking. Every single system we've looked at today, it's not just a collection of recipes. It's a whole world of technique, of culture, of philosophy, all packed into one.
So, what have we learned? That every one of these systems, whether it's fast or slow, fiery or gentle, tells a story. It's a story about a place, about a people, and about a whole way of thinking. Which of course leaves me with one last question, and this one's for you. What story does the food you cook and eat tell?